Hello and welcome to a Beaufort County report. It is Disabilities Awareness Month and I am here with Miss Stephanie Nagid, and we're going to talk more about the AccessNow app that was launched right around this time last year, but there's been some expansion. So Stephanie, can you give us an overview of the app and website?
Yes, the AccessNow app is a mapping software created by a small company, and they provide information about accessibility of parks, trails, buildings, just about anything that's potentially needs accessibility. And we were able to work with them last year to map 3 of our very popular parks. And it's really a place for information sharing. And so people with disabilities or accessibility issues have a place where they can go, where they can learn information and have better knowledge of what to expect when they arrive at a site.
Mm-hmm. And what all goes into this app? I know you said you've done some expanding, so what all can we see in the app and how have you expanded?
Yeah, the app is created by obviously a different company, but the mapping that we've done on the properties includes the trail conditions, the size of the boardwalks, like what we're standing on now, any other facilities, whether the restrooms have accessibility issues, or if there's any kind of navigational hazards on the trails. So it's really just any kind of information about what the trails are made of, what they look like. It also comes with pictures so people can see in the pictures themselves. So it gives you a really nice summary and snapshot of the conditions of trails and facilities and structures that occur on the properties.
So whose idea was this?
Well, when I first started with the county, I joined a professional society called the Society of Outdoor Recreation Professionals. And in May of 2022, I was able to attend a conference. And this company was at that conference giving a presentation of their app and all the work that they've done in other places in Canada and in the Northeast United States. And I just thought it was a really great idea, and with the type of community that we have here in Beaufort County, it just seemed like a good fit to try and get that information out here.
So is this newer to South Carolina? Is it newer, is it everywhere, or are we kind of, kicking things off and setting the standards here in Beaufort County?
Well, I'd like to think that we're setting the standards here in Beaufort County for sure. When I started last year with this company, they did say we were the first South Carolina entity or company to start doing the mapping with their app. So I think other states, Florida and Georgia have also touched on a couple of parks in their area, but I do believe this is the first for South Carolina.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how are you looking to expand it further in the coming year?
So this year we've actually already surveyed and mapped 7 additional parks. So we first started with Crystal Lake, Widgeon Point, and Fort Fremont, just to kind of get an idea of what kind of product we would get from the company. And then it worked so well and has seen really good reviews on their website that we decided to go ahead and expand it to 7 additional parks that are currently open to the public.
And if I'm not mistaken, are the public able to go in and add places themselves, or is it only something that you guys can do on the back end?
I am not sure if the public can. I think the public can recommend to AccessNow to have something mapped, or they can submit a review of an item, like they can put a pin in the AccessNow app and then submit a review. But as far as actually having the company come and do the GIS work and the GPS work, I believe that is up to the landowner of the property to do that. But the public can go into the properties that are already mapped and in the app and leave a review or make notes, put in comments if something doesn't look the same or has been improved or degraded.
Which is very helpful.
Yes.
Has there been any reviews that you've maybe had to go back and look at some things like, oh, someone complaining about maybe something that wasn't up to standards, and then you guys have been able to go back and fix it, or has that happened at all?
Not by the public, but definitely by myself. For instance, we're here at Crystal Lake, and a portion of the trail was actually considered not accessible. And then this past summer, we were able to do some low board walking on it to make it more accessible. And so I was able to go into the app and then upload the new pictures and be able to change that status from inaccessible to accessible.
I remember when that happened, and then it got a lot of excitement here in Beaufort County.
Yes.
And so that's just a small example of some of the great things you guys are doing here. So thank you, Stephanie. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
Just that you can access the AccessNow app directly on your iPhone or Android. You can also access their website through the Beaufort County's Land Preservation Department Properties website, and we have accessibility highlights in the property descriptions, and there's a link directly to the AccessNow website.
Alrighty, well, thank you, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us, and we will see you back on our next Beaufort County Report.